Have you ever caught yourself saying something and realized it's exactly what your mother used to say? Or felt an anger that didn't seem to belong to you? Maybe you felt a deep, unexplainable sadness in the middle of a happy moment. Today, we're talking about emotional inheritance, the unhealed wounds, the fears, and the habits we carry for generations, and most importantly, how to finally put them down. We carry the ghosts of our ancestors in our DNA, but we also carry them in our subconscious. It's like living in a house where the previous owners left all their furniture behind, and you're still bumping into it in the dark. It's time to decide what to keep and what to throw away. This is more than just a video, it's a journey into your own history. We inherit more than just eye color or a last name. We inherit emotional blueprints. Epigenetics shows us that the stress levels of our ancestors can actually change how our genes are expressed. If your grandmother lived through scarcity and fear, she taught that fear to your mother as a way to survive. And your mother, perhaps without even knowing it, taught it to you. It's an invisible weight that shapes how we love, how we fight, and how we see ourselves. We call it tradition, but sometimes it's just unhealed trauma. These are the shadows of the unlived lives of our parents, and they can become the heavy burdens we carry into our own lives. We often spend our lives trying to solve problems that aren't even ours, running races we never entered. It's not just in your head, it's in your biology, your nervous system, and your soul. Take Sarah, a client of mine. She was successful, but she could never enjoy her success. Every time something good happened, she felt a wave of guilt. When we dug deeper, we found that her mother had lost everything during a war. Her mother never spoke about it, but the lesson Sarah learned was, it's dangerous to be happy because it can be taken away. Sarah was living out her mother's grief 30 years later. She was loyal to her mother's pain, even though her own life was safe. This is how silence travels through generations, creating a barrier between us and our own joy. Sarah had to learn that her happiness wasn't a betrayal of her mother's suffering. She had to give herself permission to be the first one in her family to be truly safe, to be the one who finally turns the light on in a house of shadows. Then there's David. He was a perfectionist to the point of exhaustion. His father had been a migrant who felt he had to be twice as good to be accepted. David didn't have to face the same barriers, but he carried the same internal pressure. He was running a race his father started, but David didn't know how to stop. He felt that if he wasn't perfect, he was failing the family legacy. This is the inherited pressure that drives high achievers to burnout. It's a drive fueled by someone else's fear. David had to realize that his worth wasn't tied to his productivity, and that he could define success on his own terms. He had to learn to stop running and realize that he had already arrived. David's story is the story of so many of us who feel we have to justify our existence through our achievements. Sometimes we inherit the ways our parents related to their siblings. We often find ourselves playing roles in a family drama that was written long before we were born. There's the hero who carries the family's pride, the scapegoat who carries the family's shame, and the lost child who simply tries to be invisible to avoid the chaos. These roles are often inherited. If your mother was the hero, you might feel an intense pressure to take over that mantle. If your father was the scapegoat, you might find yourself attracting blame in your own relationships. Understanding these roles is essential to finding your own way out of the script. You are not a character in someone else's story. You are the author of your own, and you have the power to put the script down and walk off the stage. One of the most common things we inherit is our relationship with money. This is inherited scarcity. If your grandparents lived through a depression or a famine, they passed down a belief that there is never enough. You might be wealthy now, but you still feel a panic when you spend money, or a need to hoard resources just in case. This isn't your reality. It's a memory of a time that ended decades ago. This fear can prevent you from enjoying your life and from taking the risks that lead to true growth. Recognizing that your bank account is not your grandmother's struggle is a profound moment of liberation. You can choose to live in abundance even if your ancestors couldn't. Breaking the cycle doesn't mean you don't love your family. In fact, it's the ultimate act of love. But it's terrifying because it feels like a betrayal. If everyone in your family has been miserable or anxious, being happy feels like leaving them behind. This is misplaced loyalty. We stay small so they won't feel left out. We stay hurting so they won't feel alone in their pain. But you have to ask yourself, who am I helping by staying in the cycle? Not them, and certainly not yourself. It starts with a single choice. This ends with me. Breaking loyalty to pain is the only way to be loyal to yourself and to the potential of those who follow you. It takes immense courage to be the odd one out who is healthy. It means being the one who walks into the light while others stay in the cave. So how do we heal? It starts with reparenting. You must become the parent you didn't have. If your parents were cold, you must learn to be warm with yourself. If they were critical, you must learn to be your own greatest advocate. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine the child you once were, carrying the weight of your family's history. What did that child need to hear? Was it, "You are safe"? Was it, "You are enough"? Tell that child those words now. This isn't just an exercise. It's a way to reorganize your nervous system. By giving yourself the compassion you didn't inherit, you are creating a new emotional blueprint. You are teaching your body a new way to exist. The second part of healing is setting boundaries with the past. This doesn't necessarily mean cutting off your family, though sometimes it does. It means setting boundaries with their voice in your head. When that old criticism arises, you can say, "I hear you, but that is not my truth." You must learn to distinguish your own voice from the chorus of the past. It's a slow, intentional journey toward your true self. Awareness, investigation, detachment, reparenting, and finally, action. Every time you choose your own peace over a family pattern, you are winning a victory for yourself and for those who will come after you. You are the pioneer of your family's new history. When you heal yourself, you aren't just changing your life. You're changing the lives of everyone who comes after you. You are pruning the family tree. It's a gift to your children, ensuring they don't have to carry what you had to carry. It's also a gift to the child you once were, who deserve to be free of those shadows. Healing is a ripples that travel forward and backward in time. By breaking the cycle today, you honor the ancestors who couldn't break it themselves. Freedom is your true inheritance. It is the most valuable thing you can pass down. You are the light that clears the fog for the generations to come. Your freedom is their future. So, what have you inherited that you are ready to put down? Tell me in the comments. Let's start a conversation about breaking the cycles. Subscribe for more deep dives into the psychology of family. I'm Maria, and remember, your past is a lesson, not a life sentence. The prison is often in your mind. Use your power. Take a deep breath. You are free to be you. You deserve a life that is truly yours. You are the author of the next chapter. Make it a good one. Until next time, be brave, be you. Your new life starts today.